There are new sales on Prebuilt Gaming PCs, and let me tell you, this is going to be a really good list. So if your budget is from $700 all the way up to $2,500, this video will be for you. However, down below in the video description, as well with these systems, you will have PCs that are more expensive than $2,500 and less expensive than $700 in case you have more or less money. Every gaming PC on this video is going to be on sale, but maybe when you're watching this, they are not on sale anymore. That's why I recommend you checking the latest prices. Even if you don't know about computers, I will explain what these PCs are capable of running and which resolution. That being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the Amazon 15L with the GTX 1660 Super and the i3-12100F for the price of $700. Now, I only recommend you buying this system if you can't spend 50 extra bucks for the next one, since the next one is a much better option for the price. However, if you can't spend those extra 50 bucks or the next one is out of stock when you're watching this video, this PC is a really solid deal for 1080p gaming, medium to high settings, 60 plus FPS on average. And if we are talking about games like CSGO and Valorant, you will be able to achieve 144 plus FPS on average without an issue. So if you want a 1080p high refresh rate monitor, you will have no problems. I wouldn't recommend this PC for anything higher than 1080p, those being 1440p and 4K resolution. So if you want a 1080p starter PC, I would start with this one, or especially the next one if you have $50 extra. The next one is the Skytech Blaze 2 from the Skytech website. This one is 750 bucks and you get the i5-11400F alongside the RX 6600. The RX 6600 is going to be a much better option than the GTX 1660 Super. You will be able to achieve much higher FPS and you can also play at 1440p in some titles. Now, it's not going to be the best 1440p PC out there, so if you're searching for 1440p really high FPS, this is not the one for you. But if you play esports titles, even at 1440p, you will be able to achieve more than 144 FPS on average. Here you also get 16 gigs of RAM and 500 gigs of SSD, so you get more storage and more RAM overall, which will help you out with the gaming performance. So if you want a 1080p, high FPS, high to ultra settings every single game, I believe this one is a much better option for the price than the last one. With the next one, we have the 15L from the HP website instead of the Amazon website. This one is $1,000, so it's around $250 more expensive than the last one, but you get the RX 6600 XT instead of the non-XT version, which is going to give you a better gaming performance. So if you're searching for 1440p high FPS, even this system will be a good option if you have $1,000 in your bank account. Of course, there are systems out there that are going to perform much better at 1440p, but for most titles, 60 FPS on average will be more than possible in high settings. And I'm talking about games like Red Dead Redemption 2. You also get 16 gigs of RAM, but you get more storage here. You get 500 gigs of SSD alongside 1TB of hard drive, and you also get a better processor in the Ryzen 7 5700G. I believe this is one of the best price to performance PCs in today's list. With the next one, we have the Chronos with the Ryzen 5 5600X and the RTX 3070 Ti for $1,400. I haven't seen a deal like this in a while now, since you get the RTX 3070 Ti version, not just the 3070, alongside a Ryzen 5 5600X with 16 gigs of RAM and 1TB of Gen 4 SSD. You also get that beautiful front edge panel, so you don't have to worry about the airflow. And this is not only a really good 1440p gaming PC, but it's also an streaming PC, since you get the Ryzen 5 5600X, which is a great CPU for streaming. I would recommend this PC only for 1440p or 4K gaming depending on the title, but I wouldn't buy this PC for 1080p. Let's say you play Fortnite at 1080p, you want the highest frame rates, I believe the 6600 XT will be more than enough for that, and you will not need the RTX 3070 Ti, especially because you will not notice a difference with your eyes on your monitor. With the next one, we have one that is much more expensive. So let's say your budget is below $2,000 but also above $1,400, you will have a bonus PC in the video description that I didn't put on this video because I didn't want to make it too long. But with this one, we have the Omen 45L. I've tested this PC myself. You can go ahead and watch my review about it in the top right of the screen. It comes with the i7 12700 and the RTX 3080. You also get 16 gigs of RAM, 1TB of hard drive, and 500 gigs of SSD. The price is $2,400, so it's not cheap at all, but I can guarantee you will have a good experience at 1440p and 4K because I've tested this one myself. Temps were pretty low as well, so overall I think it's a good system and I would recommend it if you have the budget to buy it, especially if you want to do 1440p high FPS or 4K gaming overall high settings. Then for $100 extra you can get a better system in the Skytech Azure 2 with the Ryzen 9 5950X and the RTX 4070 Ti. The 4070 Ti is better than the 3080, and you also get 32 gigs of RAM here instead of 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of Gen 4 SSD. Overall, this PC for $2,500 is actually a good choice for really high FPS 1440p since it will not bottleneck. Also, in the Skytech website, down below you can see the estimated FPS average for high settings in some titles, but it doesn't show the 4K benchmark, only the 1440p and 1080p, and by the way, do not buy this PC for 1080p gaming, you will be wasting your money. So that was the list of today's video. Like I said before, if you have more money, let's say you want a 4080 or a 4090 system for 4K gaming, in the video description you will have more PCs as well. If you're willing to build it yourself, then you can get a better price to performance PC build. For that reason, I do recommend you watching the $2,000 PC build that I made with the RTX 4070 Ti, as it will give you a great 1440p experience, and I also showed benchmarks on that video. If you have more or less money for a PC build, you can also watch my PC build playlist for different budgets in the top right of the screen or my website to find the perfect PC build for your favorite game with the estimated FPS. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.